I think I'm coming out here to just enjoy the farm, and then I come out and there's all of the birds. Right there. The reason I became a scientist is because I had questions, and somebody told me that my questions were worth exploring. I just sat here and ate all of the raspberries. I think if you have any interest in thinking about the natural world or whatever it is that you're observing, there's all sorts of things out there. That's what it is to be a scientist, is to answer questions and to find ways of creatively figuring out how the world works. One of the cool things about starlings, and the reason why I like them, is that they're found basically all over the globe. And this one is actually from where my old apartment was. So. The first time I ever skinned an animal, I thought it was so gross, and I was so nervous about doing it. Now I love it. Okay. If I don't stop it soon, it'll thicken up when it cools, and then it's like, I don't know, raspberry pudding, not raspberry jam. I like skinning birds. It's like tiny, detailed work. I like cross-stitching. It's still tiny, detailed work. It's a project I just finished. It says the future is female. Got all these little like solidarity fists. It's on a cross stitch. It's also on my own arm. I worry that I don't look like or behave like a scientist should. And I've recently learned that there's a term for that because other people feel it so much. I feel like an imposter, and it's called imposter syndrome. And for me, that's pretty comforting. I am not the only person that feels like they don't quite seem like what a scientist should be. Right now I'm writing out things that I'm grateful for. It's like a tactic for feeling happier. Apparently that helps to think about things that you're grateful for. This morning it's coffee. One of the things that I struggle with is sort of the chaos and the excitement and all of this like moving parts, and I need to find ways of finding stability and order within that. So science allows me to do that with what I see outside, and then my hobbies are all about finding that order in my personal life too. I study evolution. In particular, I'm interested in how and why birds live in different environments. My work starts with a bird that was flying around at one point in some cool habitat. And then eventually I want to figure out what in that particular bird makes them suited to that habitat. So I go from the whole bird to tissue or blood, then I extract the DNA, and then eventually I have DNA sequences. And then I'm working on the computer, doing different analyses to basically create visual representations of the variation in the DNA sequence. And there are all sorts of different graphs that allow me to see how and why these birds are different genetically. Anybody can be a scientist. All that you're doing is asking questions and then finding some way of answering them. None of us know how to answer the questions. That's why they're there. So it should be a space for anyone to come into, right? It's creative. It's open. That's the point. I am an emotional person, and I'm also a scientist.